their armies, if you want, not on soldiers, but rather on trade. And this liberal revolution then had the businessman in the center, and the battlefield, if you want, was then the market. And this new businessman was then considered as the new role model. There's of course a very good study which I will partially use here as well. This is from Max Weber. Max Weber was a German philosopher and sociologist, and he wrote a very famous book. This is the Protestant ethics, which he argued would be the sole reason for the rise of capitalism. I mean, I would say this is only half true. There were other cultures as well, which were very trade oriented. For example, Islam did not have some sort of a Max Weber, nevertheless, or did not have some sort of ethics. Nevertheless, the Orient became very wealthy because of its geographical location, where they were some sort of could partake in the Silk Road to Asia, as well as could control the trade with Europeans. However, nevertheless, it makes sense to look into Max Weber as well, and Max Weber's Protestant ethics, which then became some sort of the ethics of the businessman. Business class is, you could say, has some validity, and this is at first, men are laborers, so you work your ass off, but it is not anymore to provide your family, because before you could say the soldier, he had nothing to left but to prevent hordes of barbarians coming in, pouring in, and destroying his home. Now we have a new type of archetype, and this says that men are laborers, men as well as do not doubt. So this is again one of the issues of the Protestant ethics. So if you doubt whether you are the chosen one, then you have already lost it in a way, and that of course that you have to prove that you are successful as a man, as well as that you are religious, that you are pious. This means success. You could then need to show in a way through gathering of wealth. Laborers, being laborers does not mean just to work, but being successful means then as a man to work, and as a man again, you are the sole preserver of your family. You are righteous as well as just. There are very famous plays of Friedrich Schiller. Friedrich Schiller was a very famous German author, playwright, and he wrote some plays, and in his plays you can really see the difference. What is some sort of this old aristocratic class, and what is now the new liberal citizenship, or what's the new liberal citizen, this difference. And one is of course being homebound, being closely to family values, being honest, and so on. And of course with the businessman, or being a businessman, another factor comes to emerge, and this is your personal reputation. Because as a businessman, if you want to do business, people rather will make business first of all with their own kind. This is true, and as well as, and then with people who have a good reputation, who are being considered faithful, who do not doubt themselves, who are pure in their intentions and this reputation. Then with the in the in this age with those new um, with this emergence of the new business class, then became extended to his entire family as well, so that a man's reputation as a businessman, as being successful, could be hampered by his wife or his family members. And then again, the man became some sort of the sole guardian of his own family's reputation, of his family's perception in the public. So, so this, yeah, and of course, any negative effect then would reflect badly on him, and he could then lose out in this struggle for presenting yourself as being laborious, being successful, showing your success, because this is what it means. Or you could at least interpret Max Weber in that sense, that being successful, you have to show in a way or another that you are faithful, that you are laborious. And how can you do it then? In exposing your wealth, in gathering your wealth, and this came with the change. But despite of the rise of the bourgeoisie, this liberal citizen character, militarism in Europe was not dead at that moment. Militarism, of course, in Europe developed a little bit different than in America. Some Europeans, me included, do not always understand this American fixation with the military. It made partially sense after I heard or read about some things. So there is, of course, things you don't know, and however, that the militarism or the Veterans Day was actually brought forward or was initiated by black soldiers. It was rather to commemorate them. This is a different development than in Europe, because in Europe the military class, first of all, was always aristocratic. Later on it opened, but then after the First and Second World War, the military in Europe, they fell in disgrace. And this was especially after the Second World War, where reports became available for everyone what the German Wehrmacht or any other collaborators did in the East. I mean, these mass executions and all other atrocities. This is one of the reasons, because today some far-right groups in Austria as well as in Germany deny the existence of gas chambers or of executions in order to save and preserve the honor of the military. However, because of these atrocities, the German military lost its reputation, and the French were humiliated in a way, as well as other European countries, and the military then had some sort of lost its purpose, and this was, you could say, then the real end of this military archetype which died in the trenches and mass graves of Europe. But the Second World War was, and then later the Vietnam War, especially in the US, was very important, because then again you could say a new social or a new moral archetype of man emerges. This is especially in the Vietnam War, or during the Vietnam War. Those who have seen some pictures of this war, this is when veterans and soldiers openly question the war, and even throw their medals away, throw it into to the White House. So those military honors, they do not count anymore. You do not can virtue anymore. The military archetype has no virtue anymore. This is the rise of flower power. This is when men begin, in a way, start thinking about being pacifists. That war and violence would be useless, and especially with the rise of the sexual revolution. This was in the 60s up to the 70s, with this flower power and this movement, the freedom of sexualization. Men do not oppress their women anymore. This is some sort of a new archetype of the new pacified man who thinks about the world and itself. And this then becomes very crucial for millennials, because in millennials then with this development of feminism over sexuality, this millennial masculinity then changes, has a way more different approach, and we will look into it the next time. This was Adem Kirbas from Ordu, Turkey. I hope you all getting through the pandemic well, and take care of yourself. Bye.